Hello, welcome to part 20 of the Angular Complete series represented by tutorial polls. ngSwitch Directive. ngSwitch is another structural directive when we have more than two conditions for one value and we know that any one of them at any given point of time will evaluate to true. ngSwitch is a better player in such scenarios. Let's again do the initial cleanup. Remove everything from userdetailComponent.html except the default p tag. Then again remove everything from userdetailComponent.ts except default code generated by Angular CLI. Open the userdetail.component.html and let's write a div, and inside write 4 p tags. What we want to do is render one of the p tags based on the user role. First p tag is for superadmin, followed by admin, user, and last one is for unknown. Now let's add ngSwitch on div. ngSwitch is an input property, so open close square brackets and type ngSwitch with an empty value. For a case to match, we have ngSwitch case directive, so type asterisk ngSwitch case and value as 1. Then copy this switch case and paste it on admin and user. Change the case value to 2 and 3. In the last case, let's mark that as default. When nothing is matched, default will render as the unknown user type. So type asterisk ngSwitchDefault with no value. This default switch case is completely optional. Let's start the application. Type npm start and press enter. Let the application build and run. Alright, the application is running now, and as you can see, default switch case is rendered because we have not passed any value in ngSwitch. Let's pause to here. Save and see the browser. Yes, the case matched with admin and admin is visible in UI. Now let's define a property in userdetailComponent.ts. So type public role ID as of type number and with no initial value. Now define a method here as public setRoleID and role ID of type number as input parameter. Complete the function. Inside type this.roleID equals input parameter role ID. Now in HTML add 4 buttons. Add button and text as superadmin, and then add click handler with function setRoleID and pass value as 1. Now copy this button and paste this 3 times and change the text to admin, user and unknown. Also change the value passed to functions associated with each role as 2, 3 and null. Also pass our defined property role ID in ngSwitch. Based on the value of role ID, one of the cases will match. If none is matched, then the default will render. So if you see here, when any of these buttons will be clicked, they will set one value to role ID property, and then again that role ID property is passed back to ngSwitch, which will force it to match one of these cases, and accordingly the result will show in the UI. Save the changes and observe the browser. Now click on the button and see it is switching the text based on the value matched with the case. Alright, we know now ngSwitch and how to use ngSwitch. So that was it for this video. Thank you and see you in the next video.